What's good? WTF Nation Radio. It is I, the actual King Smith, here Sunday, February 23rd, the last Sunday of this long ass year that we are already having. And we're kicking it off with you live here at WTF Nation Radio with the Sports Bar, hosted by myself, the actual King Smith, and the man in the avatar over here beside me, breathing over my shoulder, is affectionately known as Coach. Coach, let the people know something.
What do you hear? What do you say? Oh, yeah, I'm starting a good one off this week. The king of fantasy football is back. We're back on the sports bar, man. It feels good to be back on a regular basis, doesn't it, King?
You know, it does feel good to be back on a regular basis. We have
Hey,
now
you call
done
your
what?
hey, you're officially king. I am officially king of fantasy football for this year. So
You
I am going to call myself the king of fantasy football, coach, king of fantasy football,
you got lucky, man. You
king
know,
coach.
it's not fair that AI gets to freaking manage a football team and win during our second year of fantasy football. It's just not fair. It's not
No,
right.
AI did not win. AI did not win. Lamar Jackson won. That's what
Mm-hmm.
happened. The Baltimore
Mm-hmm.
Ravens won, even though they've been doing a lot of losing recently. And a lot of the players have been losing, even former players.
Uh-huh.
Boy.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all, we are one of many of the shows here at WTF Nation Radio. Yesterday we had Weekend Co-ops hosted by Nemo, in which he did a World of Warcraft raid. I think they took down one boss out there last night. I watched the stream last night. It
How many
was,
defeats did they have?
oh, they got spanked like twice, I want
Or,
to say. And
or
then and Nemo didn't finish the entire raid. He had to cut it short, and look, that's fine, right? With the stuff that's going around the world right now, oh man, people are having. Let me say it like this: it's interesting out there. Life is definitely lifing. We have a staff member that is I don't know if it's public information, so never mind. I'm not going to say it. Just know that we have a staff member that's going through something. Coach and I are sending our thoughts and prayers out to her. Tomorrow, we have the Monday edition with special guest Anthony Anderson, from what I saw. And
yes,
then,
Anthony Anderson.
and
Not
then,
that Anthony
yeah,
Anderson.
not that Anthony Anderson, but a person whose name is Anthony Anderson. It's one of those things that when you have a common name, sometimes people could go, wait, what? Fun fact, while my legal name is King Smith, that is what I pay my taxes as, it wasn't the name I was born with. Some people that know me know what my born name was, but while my legal
I,
name is King Smith, I was not born King Smith.
and I do not even know your real name. So, I mean, the only way that we can go ahead is talk about it as we are both kings. You are
Mm.
King Smith, and I am king of fantasy football. See, that's how we relate here on the sports bar.
Football needs to hurry up and come back up so I can dethrone you. That has to happen ASAP.
Oh, come on, buddy! I couldn't brag about it during the Super Bowl. I figured I finally get a chance to finally freaking brag about it on our show.
Hmm.
Come on, man! I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You know I'm kidding.
And then Tuesday coming up, we've got CQ with Pop Culture Warrior. He's bringing a very, very funny person who I know in real life as well. Dwayne White is coming up as the special guest this upcoming Tuesday here on Pop Culture Warrior at WTF Nation Radio. Couldn't tell you the rest of the schedule. I know what happened yesterday. I know what's going on the next 2 days. Anything else past that, tune in and find out. Coach,
Yo,
we're gonna have a short show tonight, man. We've got a couple of things prepped for the people. There's been some interesting sports news that have came out, and we are going to cap it off with a discussion about what a former NFL player, current NFL sports analyst, got put on blast for doing. We're gonna play the receipts and get people's opinion on what they think about it. How does that sound?
ooh, yeah. I definitely want to hear the people's opinion, but I mean, come on.
All right.
Yeah.
We've got some people in the comment section. Let's acknowledge them before we get to our first story here. We got Michelle Early over on YouTube said, "Good evening. That is my boo thing. Her and I played bingo earlier today, coach. It was for a good cause though.
Oh,
It was for a good cause. It was
awesome.
it was for a sponsorship thing for my kid and what she does at her school. She's in show choir. You know, think like for those of y'all that don't know what show choir is, if you've ever seen the show Glee, that's show
Yeah.
choir, right? So I didn't win anything, but one person that was in our party won two games that was there. So at least somebody who I knew won some money, and it raised a lot of money for my kids' show choir and their team. So um, it was fun to be there. It was fun to almost win some things, and yeah, we got. Let me see. We got Corey Ritchie, I believe. Let me see if I said that right. Corey Ritchie over on YouTube said, "Hello, I'm glad Smith told that raging Cajun to get it. To get it. LOL." Yeah. Man, all right. Let's let's go into some sports news here real quick, coach. And then I've got a really cool video to play that I think is going to be wild for you. And we're just going to get to the main story and just run
Oh,
right
yeah.
into it. So here is our first sports news today. ESPN and MLB to end broadcast partnership after the 2025 season. There was a March 1 deadline for MLB and ESPN to opt out of the final 3 years of their 7-year, 550 million per season deal that they inked in 2021. The two sides could not come together, so the partnership has ended. Um, the network is quoted as saying, "We are grateful for our long-standing relationship with Major League Baseball and proud of how ESPN's coverage super serves fans. In making this decision, we applied the same discipline and fiscal responsibility that has built ESPN's industry-leading live events portfolio as we continue to grow our audience across linear, digital, and social platforms." In taking a look at this, right? This decision, um, in which they chose to opt out the final 3 years, it's being reported that the money's just not there. The money is just
Oh,
not there. MLB has expressed disappointment in saying that ESPN has given reduced baseball coverage in recent years and have deemed the network's request to lower the rights fees as unacceptable. As a result,
ah.
Major League Baseball is exploring new broadcasting and streaming platforms to expand its national reach beyond regional sports networks.
Yeah. And what you just mentioned is the key reason why you are having these issues with Major League Baseball right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've actually talked about this years past, or it might be 2 summers ago or last summer. There is an area in St. Louis, maybe about 15 miles away um, Busch Stadium, where the St. Louis Cardinals play, and they cannot watch their team on any television channel, period,
Hmm.
whatsoever. There are certain, I think right now, the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm not sure if there was a couple other ones from Texas, but there are several places where they have no broadcasters that are on a major cable channel. The regional sports networks that they used to be Fox Sports. They started off as Sports Channel USA or something like that. And now they became Bally's or whatever it was. And the regional sports networks have essentially gone out of business. They've become bankrupt. Nobody is buying into the cable rights anymore, and these regional sports networks are set up as strictly for cable and cannot maneuver around. Major League Baseball has been surviving off of these regional sports networks for the past 25 or 30 years. Now that that stream is essentially dead, Major League Baseball needs a new stream. What's also hindering Major League Baseball is their archaic blackout at. And this actually goes up to somebody who you may not like very much, in Mr. Peter Angelos, God rest his soul. Major League Baseball has regions in which you have a local blackout. So, regardless of what cable company has, whether or not they carry the channel, and if they do carry the channel, they only are able to broadcast that unless it is a national broadcast. So the regional sports networks will have their own digital platform, but it's only available to those customers that either have it or subscribe to it themselves.
Okay.
Those regional sports networks blackout things, blackout every single local game if you wanted to watch it for, if you wanted to watch your favorite example. I would like to see the New York Yankees play all of their games because they are out of their network. I can watch maybe about 65 to 75 home games a year. That is debatable whether or not the Atlanta Braves or the Baltimore Orioles, or I take that back. I have three separate ones. And then it go, or the Washington Nationals are playing a game either at Yankee Stadium, because if to look at that at my regional sports network.
Mm-hmm.
Same goes for if the Yankees are playing in any of the games at any of those stadiums. I may not see them while they play the Nationals. I may not see them while they play the Orioles. Guess how many of those that are regional sports networks in my area that cover those three teams? Zero. None of sports networks cover those teams whatsoever. My regional sports network covers the fucking Carolina Hurricanes. I don't get any of those other games because they're signed to their regional sports networks. And Major League Baseball has this archaic freaking way of trying to limit their own. St. Louis, other fans, there are fans that even outside of their area, they would have to pay for Major League Baseball TV and still cannot see all of their games. They can see about 80, 90% of their games. Tell me that's not freaking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Major League Baseball has long had this issue, and it doesn't surprise me because the collective bargaining agreement is also going to be coming up in 2026. And the digital rights have to have been addressed by the time the collective bargaining agreement was coming up. ESPN moving away from Major League Baseball is a step in the right direction. The Sunday night baseball game goes on forever and nobody fucking watches it anymore. Okay, the 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 lack, and I'm going to say this, the lack of doubleheader games and big series, kind of just the homogenization of what Major League Baseball has made it a boring sports, regardless of what implementations they've put together to speed up the game. But they need to find a way to get through this entire digital mess that they put themselves into with the regional sports networks reliance, and they need to find a way to get rid of this broad. There are too many blackouts, and there are people who cannot even watch your freaking game. You have no daggone right to stand on asking for more money when inside your own house you're handicapping it by your own stupid rules.
Yep. Now, I'm gonna. You explained that perfectly, and we're gonna make a small pivot to another story that's related to some things that are archaic that's finally being caught up. Now, you sent this to me, and I found
Yes,
it
I did.
interesting, so I'm going to see if I can quickly get this displayed here up on the screen. Give me a second while I pull this up. And now I'm going to hit transition and boom, there we go. So the Yankees, and I didn't even know this, y'all, to be honest
Oh
with
yeah,
you. So the Yankees apparently, since the original owner, Steinbrenner,
the George
George,
Steinbrenner. Yes, it's
yeah,
George Steinbrenner purchased the team, or actually implemented. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
eh,
But George Steinbrenner from the previous owner.
yep, came out and had this uh, uh, um, appearance policy when it came to grooming that basically said if you look professional, you play professional. Now, this is me paraphrasing it, so to speak, but a lot of players that went to play for the New York Yankees were disgruntled about that because they wanted to grow their beards. As far as I know, now, Coach, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The
Yeah.
Yankees were the only team that had this type of hair policy for their players. Is that correct or incorrect?
Yes, they were.
Wow.
That is 2,000% correct.
So players, when they would leave the Yankees, you would see them go to like the New York Mets or the Detroit Tigers, and grow out their mullets, have beards or whatnot. But if you signed and you went to the New York Yankees prior to the revision of the policy that just recently came out, it was understood that you knew exactly what grooming habits that you were getting into. Kind of like when you joined the
Okay.
military. For our veterans out there, when you joined the military, you knew that there were certain hair standards and things that you had to abide by. And if you didn't want to abide by those standards, bye bye deuces. Now,
Hmm.
I've got the policy up there on the screen, but what do you want to add to this reversal? Or I'm sorry, not the reversal. I'm going to say this change of bringing their grooming standards into the new century.
I'm glad you brought this up because this one, and I would definitely like to hear some people's remarks regarding this because towards the end, I'm going to bring this into the beards in the military reasoning for this. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, because some people might put a correlation between the two because it's two separate institutions for the reasons that it was put together. Okay. When George Steinbrenner came into, bought the Yankees, first, you have to realize how George Steinbrenner made his money. George Steinbrenner made his money in the shipbuilding industry, and he had a regimented type of that people had regimented type of learning in that way, and he was coming from that shipbuilding empire. He was used to things kind of being done in a military manner. So even though he never served. That being said, when he took over the Yankees, he always quoted that he wanted to run the camps like it was boot camp and try to get everybody together and kind of bring everyone together in hatred from him because that's how he kind of saw how leadership was supposed to be. So in 1976, he put out that he did not like to see people in facial hair. So that's where the implementation came. The big person that at that time was ever mentioned about it was a guy by the name of Thurman Munson. Before and now with this policy, there have been little stupid issues. Don Mattingly was obviously a famous one. They find him for his mullet, stupid things like that. There have been plenty of stars that have signed with the Yankees that shaved their beard off completely. Johnny Damon being the most famous. He looked like Captain Caveman on the 2004 Red Sox. He comes over to the Yankees and he is completely clean shaven within a matter of a day or so. Jason Giambi was another one, bouncer, and then he comes in and he looks like a steroid clean shaven. But anyway, there have also been some people, and I was going to look it up before the show, but in 2022, it was told that one of the people that were going to be traded to the New York Yankees instead of Frankie Montas ended up the Yankees because he would have to trim his beard and his hair. I can't remember who it was. It might have been I can't remember who exactly it was. But then the Yankees blew out on another deal and got that douchebag, and then anyway, things went the way they did. There has been a change into it, but I'm going to bring this up regarding the beard. It never was about to be the Yankee way. George Steinbrenner implemented the rule for himself. The
Hmm.
Yankees were never defined by this. Let me ask you this. Was there a shaving policy when Babe Ruth was playing? Was there a shaving policy when Lou Gehrig was playing? Joe DiMaggio, Phil Rizzuto, Yogi Berra, Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford, going all the way up until just before Thurman Munson. There was zero shaving policy.
Mm-hmm.
The lineage or the Yankee way, and that how shaving represents was just bullshit because essentially we were talking just about people that were in a different era. It is a bullshit rule, and I got what George was trying to do back then, but it has been something stupid that should have been gone for years, and it was just made a rule of that. It did not mean anything about the Yankee way, and it doesn't take away from it. The part of the Yankee way was to be proud of wearing the pinstripes, and if you did not want to shave your beard off because that's what was separating you from being a Yankee, then really what does it take for you to be a better player? I'm just saying that if that little thing is going to let you go. But it did let people go, and it has affected the Yankees in the past, and it may affect the Yankees in the future. So letting it go right now, that's fine. But the Yankees need to fucking win and not, choke in the damn playoffs with frickin' Aaron Boone as the damn manager because he doesn't know his head from his ass. Whether or not he's got a fucking beard. Okay? But the Yankee way does not mean that you are clean shaven and you're this way. The Yankee way means that you win. So, for any person that says it's not the Yankee way for them to have beards and things like that, no, it's not the Yankees that you remember. The legacy that the Yankees had that they built before this thing was made was for 5, 6, 7 World Series ago. 20 of the 27 World Series were made without a daggone a facial hair policy and grooming standard policy. Yeah, I really do. If you want to bring it, it's just because it's the Yankees that you remember. And the Yankees that you remember also do not play in the same stadium that those hollowed Yankees do, nor even in the same version of that stadium. Rest my case.
Absolutely. Now, I think what Hal is doing is a fantastic business decision. Even when George passed away, I'm surprised it stayed that long. You would think that the new regime would come in and want to try to make business decisions. Like, look, a dead man can't tell me what to do. And if it's me, I'm going, hey, look, y'all, we need to make sure that we get the right players here. If I got a guy that's smacking 40 to 50 home runs in a season and he's got a big ass caveman beard, then yes, I will amend whatever I need to amend to bring some winners on my team. So shout out to Hal Steinbrenner for talking to the
And,
players
and
and making what I think is a good business decision.
and this is what and this is where I came from about that whole part of the beards in the military
Mm-hmm.
because I would fucking have loved it. I would have not shaven. I would have had a trim beard. It would have looked fucking great, and I would have had it all the goddamn time. But part of the reason why I wanted to be in the army, or part of the thing that had to be there when I was in the army, is that I had to be clean shaven. And I'm not talking about clean shaven every day. It was when I was clean shaven while I was on fucking duty. If I was off duty, I would really didn't give half of a rat's ass whether or not I was clean shaven. And if you did, then you really didn't have. Then you had too much time on your hands. Go find a hobby or go play with yourself. So, where I kind of come from is that there's a lot of people that are saying as a recruit, and I'm saying this in ice. Kind of hear me out on this. I am in the boat that if you not shaving is really the of you not coming in, well, then really was your heart in it?
Hmm.
Really did you want to serve? You really going to, and look, I can come up with all the bullshit benefits that we got, but I can also come up with every single one of the freaking ridiculous things that we ended up getting after service. But are you really going to throw away a post 9/11 GI Bill and I don't know, maybe a 4-year transformation for you to become a boy into a man or a girl into a woman or whatever? Well, excuse me, specifically men. Are you gonna, I know there's some women that have grown. I know there's some women that have grown beards. I'm not going to mention anything, but I have served with them. But that being said, do you really want to throw away something that's going to transform your life just because you want to grow a beard? You see where I'm getting at?
Yeah.
There's a level of commitment there. And that's kind of what the Yankee beard and facial grooming policy was. Now, when they were the Yankees underneath George and winning in the late 90s and the early 2000s and got the guys like Musina and Giambi and all of the other players that were trying to win and A-Rod and all of them, the facial hair thing was kind of like, well, it's the Yankee way. We're going to win right now. And then in 2009, it started to get that way. But the Yankees are right now in the midst of their second longest streak without a World Series championship. This year will be 16 years. Now they went to the World Series last year, but the only count by championships. There's the 18-year drought between 19 there's a 15-year drought between 1962 and 1970. 1964 was their last World Series, and then they went back in 1976. Nobody really fucking counts those. It's the 15-year gap between 62 and 77. Then there's the 18-year gap between 78 and 96. Nobody counts that 81 year that they went to the World Series against the Dodgers and lost. Right now, you're in the second longest streak for the New York Yankees years without a World Series. Last year still does not count for Yankee fans. That's the Yankee way right now, is to come up close. It does not mean that. And the Yankees need to do everything fucking possible to appease a fan base who have grown absolutely tired of the head shed that is running it and want their heads. We want Brian Cashman fired. We want new thinking inside the entire organization. And we want, if anything, to have Hal Steinbrenner and, resurrect his younger brother who would have, passed away, and have Hank actually take over instead of Hal, because Hal's too business-like and has a silver spoon up his ass. The Yankee way is not that prestige anymore. If Devin Williams, who shaved his beard a couple days after reporting for pitchers and catchers, wants to stay, and you get rid of the beard policy because he can be one of the best closers you've had since Mariano Rivera, because of all fucking time while he was in the Yankees, regardless of his stats. if this guy can be the next closer after Mo, and just keeping the beard thing shows that a little bit above to keep this guy after you got burned by not re-signing Juan Soto due to not giving his family a suite at home games like the Mets did. Man, you're going to have to start making a hell of a lot more of these changes. There are some things that the Yankees had to change. This was one of the ones, and I wish they would have looked at different ways.
Yeah.
Like all the Yankee fans have been asking for to operate differently. Let this be. But like I said, if this policy was prohibiting them from becoming a Yankee, become a
Did
Yankee.
you really want to be a Yankee? You know,
Yeah.
eh,
And like I said, the policy is prohibiting you from joining whatever branch it is. Did you really want to go in? Are you one of the people that, if that's the reason why it's coming in, that's great. You know what? If it's just to get rid of another nuance or another nuisance, like for fuck's sake, if they say, "Hey, you can have hands in your pockets," I don't think people are just going to say, "Hey, fuck it, I can go into the military because now I have hands in the pockets." It's just another fucking nice thing to freaking have, and it's another non-nuisance that we don't have to deal with because we already kind of expect several stupid nuisances like the haircuts and the freaking the dressing like a total fucking dildo in public, and the other things, and the eating fast and all of the other shit, and the no beards and being clean. There's little nuisances, but if we got rid of nuisances, that specific one, it's just again a nuisance. It shouldn't be a fucking barrier to keep you from getting from the military, nor should it have been a barrier from you to become a New York Yankee. But we so that people can have less nuisance and less of a barrier to join. And that's what happened. And that's what part of the reason for us doing it. But let's also be honest. We want a beard because we're tired of seeing fucking shave on the weekend. We don't want to shave in our off duty. And we don't want to get bullshit just for it. Okay? And we also don't want fucking people who are just 3 years older than us and their mission in life is to show up at 6 o'clock in the morning to make sure that we shaved our faces before we go and get sweaty for some stupid reason because that's the level of intelligence their leadership at of whether or not grooming standards are met.
hey, apparently we can be told by somebody that's not really a government employee to send in work bullets if you're a federal employee.
Yeah, you know what?
I just
I
have to
was
find a reason to talk
yeah,
about that.
man, oh man. You know what? I think I'm going to do that just for my work thing. I'm going to send Elon Musk or whomever is the person. I'm going to send that from my work email and I'm going to tell them 5 things that I am accomplishing every week. Maybe no, 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 no. I really don't want to fuck over my bosses.
Oh, hey, hey,
Oh, dude,
call to
no,
action right now.
no,
Hey,
no.
I'm not going to say what the email address you need to send it to is. You can Google that one. But here's a call to action. I want everybody out there to send 5 bullet points about what you did in your life to the email address that Elon and them are trying to get people to solicit information from. You know how hilarious that would be if we could get now there's still a crap ton of people that work in the federal government that needs to do it. And I'm going to be brief on this. Why am I talking about it? I'm a federal employee. I believe I have to do this. But I think that it'd be hilarious. Now, there's not going to be an actual person reading this. If I know Elon, he's going to have some type of AI script or something that's going to be seeing as something checks a box and then you either pass or you fail. But that's a Monday edition conversation. I just wanted to get that off my chest real quick. Now,
Yeah, talk about that on Monday. Let's talk about sports because
yep.
Jesus, this one will go off the rails real fucking quick.
So I'm gonna swap over here. And oh, that's not the thing that needs to show up. I'm gonna play this clip here, and just because it's related to baseball. Then I got two more sports news, and then we're gonna get to the main event. So
Yeah, man,
watch this
we've been
clip
talking. Oh Jesus!
and tell me how dope this is.
Course native of Macon, runner in motion, pitches outside. Lackey's throw is high.
I'm gonna pause it, run that back, because I want y'all to see what happened again. This is in fast motion.
Mm-hmm.
Motion pitches outside. Lackey's throw is high. Tag laid down. Oh, on the leap, Bichetti got him.
Play by Lackey
Bop,
and Bichetti.
the throw, the
I
jump,
think he had a chance.
tag
Oh,
as
that
he
would've been
slid
top of the
under
helmet.
him.
Yeah.
That is insane. So I'm going to see if I can mute the clip. All right. And play it one last time. So here we have boom, throw, which is a fantastic throw. Let me see if I can pause it. Look at that right there. Jumped over him, but had the athleticism to bring your glove down with the ball in your hand after you caught it above your head to tag him on the head as he's sliding under. That is a fantastic highlight. I know he's going to be living on that one for a while. Even if you lost the game, that is a thing of beauty right there, Coach.
If you get teabagged with the glove on, I guess it's not safe. I guess it's actually out.
Wow, insane. Now,
Yeah, that's. I mean, man, there is some crazy shit, and I also think the fielders are well. This is another thing with fielders because the no contact and no sliding rule take advantage of getting in front of the base, knowing that that the guy who's running cannot slide into him whatsoever. So plays like that where the players are jumping between the legs, I think might be coming a little bit more often because I'm seeing that a lot more. But yeah.
no doubt. Now, we also have history that's coming up. There is an official tracker for Alex Ovechkin, one of the, you can almost call him a living legend at this point. He is chasing Wayne Gretzky's career goals. As of today, he is 12 goals away from tying and 13 goals away from breaking it with 25 games remaining in this season. It will be broken. And if you are somebody that can time the game that is going to be broken at, you have a chance to witness greatness by who I think might be the best NHL player there ever was, Alex Ovechkin.
Okay. We got a little bit of debate here, and I am going to give this. Ovechkin is playing in a league that at one point was a lot tougher, but now is a little bit more free to how much he's actually played in, and anyway. So I am going to give this right now. He does this in the next 20 games. I am going to give it to him. I am going to give him the greatest goal scorer that ever lived.
Okay.
All right.
Greatest goal scorer, not
Wayne
the greatest
Gretzky.
player.
894 goals. Yes. Wayne Gretzky, 894 goals. 1,963 assists. Alex Ovechkin, 714 assists. Now, Gretzky played, and this is why I say 20 games. In the NHL, he played 1,487 games. As of right now, Alex Ovechkin, 1,467. And he's got 882 freaking goals. So if he gets 12 goals over the next 12 days, I will say that, hey, look, he's great. But it's that same argument that I regarding certain other players and a longevity stat. Okay? Ovi got it as many times, got it in as less as game in less games than Wayne. Yes, greatest goal scorer, not the greatest player. If somebody ever averaged more than 30.1 points per game, 30.2, then they would be the greatest scorer of all time in the NBA behind Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Ovi's got 20 games to match the total output.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be difficult. If he does that, like I said, greatest goal scorer ever. I am not taking anything away because that is going from number 1 to number 2. Even at number 2 on the long list of it, Alex Ovechkin has, deservingly up there. He is one of the all-time greats. I would not say the all-time greatest. That will forever be Wayne Gretzky, but he will go above players like, I would say he would be one of the Mount Rushmore players. I believe that that would have Gretzky, Gordie Howe, Maurice Rocket Richard, and now Alex Ovechkin.
No doubt.
So there we go.
We'll be tracking that here at WTF Nation Radio and the Sports Bars Facebook page as Ovechkin gets close to that. All right. Let's see. We have.
But man, that was a number. But that was a number that was once thought that was going to be impossible.
Mm-hmm.
That really was thought to be impossible when he retired, and he retired in like 98 or 99. I think it was at the end of 98. 894 at that point. 500 goals was like the standard, and it was kind of like it was with baseball, where 500 was an unbelievable number, and then you had Hank Aaron at 755. 255 home runs after freaking 500 was a phenomenal feat. He had 394 after 500. That was an even more phenomenal feat. So let's just. Ovi has been a phenomenal player. He's been a champion, throughout it. I don't know how many times. 2-time champion, I believe you got.
I'm
there.
not sure. Yeah, I'm not looking at his stats.
I know one. I remember one. The most recent one.
Three-time Stanley
champion.
Cup.
Yep. 3-time champion.
No, I'm sorry. Let me get his stats right. 4-time Stanley Cup champion.
Okay, Gretzky, 4-time Stanley Cup champion or 3-time Stanley Cup champion. So, but Gretzky also made his teammates a lot better. Mark Messier, Coffey, Dagon, Yari Curry. He had players that he elevated next to him. It worked to play to elevate Ovi. And I'm not saying it's not bad, but like I said, that's kind of like where it comes down to that like LeBron and freaking MJ debate. The greatest of all time will LeBron right now in the statistical category is going to be. There's a difference between longevity stats and impact stats.
Yeah, I'm looking down the list right now. Before Ovechkin jumped to number 2, the record was held by a guy born in 1928 with 801 goals. If you're looking at active players, you'd have to scroll down the list to number 19, which is Sidney Crosby.
And that's Sidney Crosby, who will not get anywhere near it because Sidney is just as old, if not older than he is.
Yep. You got Ovechkin born in 85, Crosby born in 87, and then you'd go down one more or a couple of spaces down to Steven Stamos. A lot of Canadian guys here.
Yeah, it's going to be Canadians,
yeah.
But you're not going to see. Ovi is a once in a lifetime and a generational talent. He truly is. I would say that he has been Ovi and Crosby. After what's it called? After Gretzky retired, and Lemieux kind of came back, and there was that time that Lemieux was playing, but Lemieux wasn't himself at that time. There really were stars, and then came Ovi, and then came Crosby, and when they were drafted and when they were playing, everybody came up together. And now the NHL, after the lockout, has been a lot stronger. It's actually probably stronger than Major League Baseball. And Ovi is a very big reason for it. So to kind of put him at the level, if we want to really put him at, you know how people said, you know, Kobe is one of the best of all time, and you know, I would give him that level, like the greatness of Alexander Ovechkin. But Wayne Gretzky, he is definitely not.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I have two quick things. A, shout out to Alex Rodriguez for sinking a half-court shot and winning a fan 10.
And fuck you, Alex Rodriguez, because you're Alex fucking Rodriguez. And as a Yankee fan, I say this: suck my ass.
I wasn't even going to say this one, but then when I thought, I was like, oh, snap. Actually, I need to say this one. I did that just for you, Coach. I did that just for you. But the 14-time All-Star was invited to take a half-court shot.
Steroid user.
Of Bucknell's basketball game against Army, in which Bucknell won 84-53, and the 49-year-old Alex Rodriguez tossed a high-arching shot that banked off the backboard and through the hoop, setting off a wave of celebrations for the students and one happy fan that won $10,000. So salute to A-Rod. Yeah. And
Yes.
one other thing here to highlight.
I'd rather fart in his general direction.
Yeah. There was a video that I tried to find and I couldn't bring it up, but Oklahoma college basketball player Duke Miles went to go dive for a loose ball, and it is reported that this fool lost multiple teeth out there playing sports. So I wish Mr. Miles a new grill and hope that the NCAA and that his college does right by him so that he doesn't lose that smile that the young man had before he lost all of his front teeth. Now, March Madness is coming up.
Hey, I do got to say something, man. And
Yes.
I kind of like the way that we're broadcasting now. I like the new setup that we got. But man, I really do want to show everybody how fugly those Jordans were.
Yes. So next, actually,
yeah, next week.
Yep. So now that I got it figured out,
because next week I'm actually going to be packing them because they're going to be going down to Dallas with me.
Okay.
I'm going to be putting them on and going through the freaking airport with these things on.
Good deal. Yeah. So I have everything, but I'm going to double check. Now that I know how to display things properly or whatnot, we are going to include it into next week's show. So for all of our sneakerheads out there at WTF Nation Radio, tune back in next week as I ain't gonna say Coach did a project in which he restored some shoes. And
you know what, King?
Mhm.
I'm thinking about this. We're gonna not really debut this because I am gonna start doing this like before the show. I'm gonna take a pic of what kicks I'm wearing. Okay.
All right.
And I'm gonna just like an hour before the show, I'm gonna show off what kicks I'm wearing from where I'm broadcasting, so you guys can see a little bit of Coach and realize that I am not an AI chatbot, because even an AI chatbot can't ramble on like I fucking do. But that being said, I'm going to go out there just kind of like, show off the kicks out there. I'm going to show off. I'm going to wait. But after that, I'm going to wait after next week because I'm going to show off we're going to show off the ones that we got. And when you see them, man, they look like fucking clown shoes. But we'll show off the trophy ones. And then like the week after that, I'm just going to do like, an hour before the show, I'm going to take a picture of the kicks and then put it on social media to show it off and remind them.
Nice. Hey, perfect. Yeah. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
Now, Coach, I need some get back. We have never done a March Madness tournament here at WTF Nation Radio or the Sports Bar. We should do a March Madness tournament. So, breaking news. The Sports Bar is going to do a March Madness tournament for the 2025 March Madness season, Coach. I want my get back.
You know what? Okay, fine. Now I know what is going to end up happening. I'm going to win myself another pair of Jordans.
Hey, I didn't say there was gonna be a prize this time around because I know
I got you.
we could go bragging rights.
You know what? You know what? Actually, I will put up. I've been thinking about that, and I am actually going to put that up. I will put up. Um, yeah, let's put it up there. You announced how much the last one was, right?
The last
For
one
the
was
vi-
$50,
for the
and I did
league?
announce it. Yes.
Yeah. All right. $50. All right, we're gonna go in. This isn't a buy-in. This is free. $50 to whoever beats coach.
Ooh, okay. So
No,
to,
no, 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 no. All right, because no, I say that $50 to anybody beats coach. If I fuck, $50 to the winner. let me
I was like,
let me put that
because
right.
we got
Let me
50
put that
people
right.
and you were
'Cause I'm
number
about
50.
to say
That's 40.
$50
Yeah,
to anybody.
49 times 50
I
is a
might
lot
have
of
a
money, coach.
fucking issue. Whoa, 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 whoa.
There you go.
All right, $50 to the winner, but again, you gotta beat me.
All right. So breaking.
I won last year. I picked UConn to win. I told you that, and UConn back to back. They're not going to be back to back this year, but there's going to be a Big East team in the Final
Okay,
Four
so
this year.
we're going to do as much marketing as we can to make people aware about this. So starting tomorrow at 12 noon on both the Sports Bars Facebook page and WTF Nation Radio's Facebook page, you will see the announcement and you will see the link to join. The selection for the teams are going to be on what they call Selection Sunday, March 16 at 6 p.m. Eastern on CBS. And then they're going to get into the games shortly after that. So the links are going to be out there for people to join. $50 in bragging rights are on the line. And we are going to have our first, and I have to say this, inaugural, because it's not a first annual. It's going to be the first inaugural March Madness here at the Sports Bar on WTF Nation Radio.
Yeah, absolute man. I'm excited. Let's do it. I am going to pay for
All
the
right.
dinner. Yes. King, you think you're gonna beat me?
I
think
don't.
Alabama's
I don't
just pick I might just pick Auburn just to piss you off.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
They are number one.
Why would you do that to yourself, first of all? Don't do that.
I'm not, but there's a crazy white guy that is tearing up the ACC right now, and I think need to be written this year in the NCAA tournament.
Bet. Okay.
Yeah. I think you might know what I'm
Now,
talking about.
we're gonna get into the
Hopefully
main event here. This story erupted on Twitter, and it is absolutely taking the sports world by storm. If you are a fan of the NFL, you will have likely heard of the former NFL player Steve Smith or Steve Smith Sr. He was an all-pro receiver that has played for multiple teams. Most notably, he played for the Panthers, but he also spent some time with the Baltimore Ravens toward the back half of his career. He was drafted in 2001, round 3, pick number 74 from Utah, but he started his first couple of years in Santa Monica. Played his high school ball out of Los Angeles. At 5'9", 195, he wasn't the fastest player, he wasn't the tallest player, but he cemented himself as a rugged and rough wide receiver that could go get the ball downfield and make plays after the catches as well. Steve Smith Sr. is also notable for being not so much of a nice guy on the field. He dared people to try to cover him, and he would let you know with his mouth that he was also that dude as well. Personally, I don't know the man, but I've never liked him. I've never liked him. I've always been a guy that's kind of like Barry Sanders. Let your play do the talk on the field, and everything else will fall into place, right? Barry Sanders still earned his respect for being that guy. Steve Smith, while he was good, I don't think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He was elected to the Pro Bowl 5 times. I'll give him that. 2-time first team All Pro, NFL Comeback Player of the Year, NFL receiving touchdowns co-leader in 1 year, to include he led the league in 2005 with receiving yards as well. No championships, 81 total receiving touchdowns over his career, 6 return touchdowns as well, as he was primarily a returner early in his career, not so much later. So that's his background, if you've never heard about him. Well, a user went on X in a now deleted tweet and recorded a conversation that he had in which he accused the NFL analyst of sleeping with his wife. And I'm going to play the video here and let y'all hear exactly what was said. Take a listen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you've been fucking my wife, bro. What you gotta say for yourself?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You fucking knew she was married. You're not a fucking idiot, man. You're fucking Steve Smith Sr. What kind of dumb shit was that? Why are you quiet, man? Be a fucking man. Steve. You ain't a fucking man, bro. All that shit you do on fucking TV, all that shit talking you do to other people. Now if someone's got you on the fucking phone, you can't even fucking man up.
So that was the video that was played in which Tony Martinez, who is married to a Nicole Martinez, is alleging that Steve Smith, who is also married to one, let me bring up her name here because we're going to use names today. Angie. Is out here, and I can't read the text messages because the text messages are very how do you say, very, I ain't gonna say vulgar, but there's words in there that, I just can't say, at least not on Al Gore's internet. But it is wild. So Steve Smith, and they have the numbers, like not even like white out. So Steve Smith has likely changed his phone number by now, but you know that it's him because he takes selfies and he's talking about all of the sexual things that he's gonna do to her, and she's like role playing right back into it as well. And they talked about teasing and all this and that, and to me it's flat out disrespectful. Not because of what he did, right? But he's both in a monogamous marriage and knew that Nicole Martinez, or she goes by Nikki, was also in a marriage as well. And you just having the sneaky link going on about it like there's no repercussions that can occur. And y'all, let me tell y'all this. As I've lived on this earth 40-something years, people will do bad things to people about their significant other. Now, Nikki is in the wrong as well. And at the same time, She was working as a part of the marching band for the Ravens. Apparently, that's how they knew each other. So there was some fraternization rules that, could have gotten broken as well. I don't think you can come after her for anything like that now. But man, it's messy all around, coach. And NFL players have the ability to be known and be seen, and they have some clout about who they are. But this right here, if you had some respect for who Steve Smith Sr. was, I don't know how you can continue to have respect for him now. And the only thing he had to say when confronted was sorry. And that was it. So what's your take on this story, coach?
He got caught, motherfucker. With the consequences. Sorry, man. Sorry. Damn, the dude called you out and you fucked up. Yeah, now whether or not that woman's on there, yeah, you're both wrong. So, look, when you're both 100% wrong, yeah, you crawling in that shell. Okay, sorry, man. Sorry.
Man, it's wild. Now, I don't know how Tony Martinez is as a person, right? There was what is likely to be hacked account from Nicole, basically saying, "Hi, I'm Nicole. Although I won't be a Martinez much longer. My husband bought me a house. I've stood by his side. Blah blah blah." That seems like it was the husband or somebody else hacking into her account, posting this. It seems like it's written by somebody out of anger, not necessarily her stitching on herself, because humans don't necessarily do that. But man, it makes me sad that that stuff got put on, blast like that. I feel bad for Tony Martinez, and it's not something that I would have done. I wouldn't have recorded the conversation of something that's embarrassing about me just because a famous person was a part of it. You take that one to the grave, man, and you just go to the courthouse, get, sign the paperwork, file, and move on about your life, man. It is what it is. It makes the husband look just as bad.
Yeah, it definitely did. But I don't know, man, for the husband. And I'm saying this in the sense that some people might call it petty or something like that. No, this guy is as the wife who did something wrong. He's innocent in this matter. So, nah, it's that, one person dies, but it saves 200 million people. Just kind of a little bit unfair on that. I'm not going to blame.
No doubt. Now, Coach, before we go, there was a question in the chat. What's up with Coach's audio? I'm going to have to do some technical stuff and figure that out. So, Coach, this is the second time, though. This is something you and I could talk about offline because I was at CQ's house, and I didn't notice it too, but I didn't want to say anything. But it's also happening here as well. So we got to see if we could do something to figure that out. But breaking news,
All right.
and we're going to end the show on this. Reported 26 minutes ago, the Philadelphia Eagles are opting out of the White House visit post Super Bowl victory. And it reads as follows. The Philadelphia Eagles have officially declined an invitation to visit the White House after their Super Bowl 49 victory. I'm sorry, 59. A decision reached after consultations between players and team's management. This choice has sparked discussions across various platforms, with some fans lauding the team for taking a stand, while others lament the break from tradition. The decision underscores a broader conversation about the role of sports teams in political context, especially highlighted by comments from key players like quarterback Jalen Hurts and offensive lineman Lane Johnson, who have been very vocal about the team's stance. While the online community has mixed feelings, The Eagles' decision marks a significant moment in the ongoing dialogue between sports, politics, and tradition. I have to tell you, I'm going to pick a side on this one. I'm a pick a side. This is I think this is a sports related thing. I would love to be I'm a guy that lives by tradition. I love traditional things. I think that there's some honor in tradition and how certain things play out. With that being said, I would not have gone if given a choice, or if asked to be put into a vote, I would have declined it.
They declined it. I mean, look, who gives a shit? For their thing. The Philly, if the players declined it, well, guess what? They did that 6 years ago or 7 years ago. I'm cool with that. I'm honest to God, I really don't think that there's a couple things here that do kind of bother me. I mean, I'll go see the people and congratulated, and you get to see all these people, but there has been a precedent set that it has now. Want to do it, great. You're saving the taxpayers money on some type of stupid freaking party at the White House and transporting everybody over there. Find another way to lawyer for Steve Smith Jr. or something like that, or pay for his legal bills. Maybe do something like that. But you know what? Become optional. It won't become such a big deal and such importance. Okay, coming to, we're going to be in our 60th Super Bowl, right? We've had 100 and some odd thousand something World Series winners. We've had 80 or so NBA winners, with the exception of Toronto, is like the only one that, really hasn't got invited to the White House. Hockey, all right, hockey's mainly Canada, but Canada hasn't won a Stanley Cup in years. Actually, Canada hasn't won a cup in 32 years, if I'm correct. I think the last time they won it was in 1993, so it's been a while for Canada. Mm-hmm. There's been that many people coming over there for that many times. It's lost the specialness of going over to the White House. There is no specialness because the way that our society has kind of gone, we've lost those special things that are important because now they are traditional type of things. There really is no importance to the tradition of our champions going to the White House to meet the president. The last time it truly had relevance was in a film in 1994 where Tom Hanks told an AI version of JFK that he had to pee. Am I right?
Nice. I like how you did that.
Exactly.
I like how you
That's
did that.
the last time it was truly relevant for them to come. So if it's optional now and they decline to come, great. You're saving money. Elon Musk will be happy, okay? If you go over there and you want to, well, just know that regardless of where you're going, this political climate will judge you on whether or not who is in the office and whether or not you support them. That's what it's become to now. It hasn't become we're celebrating you because you're American and you played a sport and you won the championship and you exceeded in this year's competition amongst every single one of your peers. No, it's become now a political statement of whom you support and why are you going over there. I don't expect a single WNBA champion to go over to the White House. And if they elect to do not to go over there, well, that's great. Well, maybe they can go ahead and save that money on the $10 million debt that they operate underneath every year. Maybe that'll go better bitten into their operating budget. If the freaking Yankees don't want to go over there for whatever reason, that's great. I just wish that the Yankees would ever go over there because Aaron Boone will not lead them over there. And now that Aaron Boone has signed an extension until 2020 freaking 7, it looks like there will be a new president. So then there won't be a debate about it because hopefully this guy or gal will end up being somebody who unites us instead of the last 5 who have divided us. And you know what? By the time that the hockey happens, I hope that for the next 4 years they go to Canada because Canada needs something. We have taken their sport and we really don't quite care about hockey. And you know what? We have been more successful at their sport on a daggone team level than they have ever done, throughout their time of inventing the sport. And then as far as basketball, well, they'll start having people actually give a shit about the freaking championship, and then maybe we actually care.
Yeah.
All right, just saying.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, well, hey, Coach, that is all. That is our show for today. That is our show for today. That is what we have. Again, we are going to do a March Madness tournament. Look out for the link on both the Sports Bars Facebook page, which I'm going to put in the chat right now, and also on WTF Nation Radio's page tomorrow around 12 noon is when that's going to come out. I'm going to have to talk with our social media manager to make sure that we get this written up properly. And I got to see if I have the ability to create it now. But if it don't come out tomorrow, just follow the page. You'll see the link. All right. And to the winner, we're going to give 50 US dollaroos to whoever comes out on top. Coach thinks he's going to win it. I think he's full of shit. So try and beat either one of us and join the March Madness tournament. Even if you don't know basketball, there's still a chance for you to be able to get lucky and randomly pick who's going to win the
Gio
tournament.
And Janice from accounting.
All right. So that is our live stream for the day. That's Coach. I'm King. Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel for the Monday edition, hosted by ICE, featuring guest Anthony Anderson. We're out. Peace.
Peace.